will never get tired of telling this story. As long as I live, the story of Donald Trump slapping tariffs on Colombia and them tucking tail and running faster than anyone I've ever seen. I will never tire of telling the story of what happened on January 26, 2025. It's amazing. Today, by the way, I don't know if you realize this. It's only been 1 week. It's only been 1 week. Donald Trump was, let's see, he took the oath really about 10 minutes ago. It's been exactly 7 days and about 15 minutes, not even, since President Donald Trump returned to power as president of the United States of America. And I can't even go through, I can't even list. I mean, it would take me the entire hour to list every single accomplishment. It has been just incredible. It has been fun to watch. It's been fun to be a part of. It's been fun. And everything is just amazing. And I wouldn't change what I've experienced in 2025 for the world. Not everybody's excited, by the way. Not everybody's thrilled. I don't know if you know about this, but Selena Gomez is crying. Selena Gomez is very upset with President Donald Trump 2.0.
I just want to say that I'm so sorry. All my people are getting attacked. The children. They don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know what to do. I'll try everything, I promise.
All right, I'm a little concerned. I'm a little confused. I'm not really sure why Selena Gomez is upset so much. I don't know if she voted. Did she vote for Donald Trump? Is that something that would be breaking news? Selena Gomez votes for Donald Trump, shocked and appalled when he does what he says he's going to do, which is deport thousands. 1,000 illegal immigrants were deported just yesterday. I mean, that is a phenomenal accomplishment on President Donald Trump's part. That is an impossible accomplishment, or an amazing accomplishment on the basis of how quickly this all came together. And it just shows that during the transition, it wasn't just like a sit around and wait. They were planning and plotting. They were getting everything in place so that on day one, or day two, really, Tom Homan could go out. He could go to Chicago. He could go wherever. He could go to Colorado. They went out in the snow and they found the Tren de Aragua folks, and they put them on a plane. They pulled them out of the snow. They were drinking cervezas. I don't know if I have this photo. It was an amazing photo. Somebody decided they wanted to get the photo of the Tren de Aragua guys. They were at a party, and what happened was they were drinking some Coronas, miles away from ordinary. And then the ICE guys came in and they grabbed the beers. And the ironic thing was, I don't know if it was ironic or whatever. But basically what happened was the beer. Oh, here it is. I have it right here. Look at this. This is great. They were having a party and they had some Coronas, cerveza más fina. They had it on ice, which is isn't that so appropriate? And all of a sudden ICE walks in, grabs these guys, takes them out, puts them on the plane, sends them back to Venezuela or wherever they're from. And the beer is still cold. Look at that. The ice has not even melted yet. That's how quickly and effectively ice works. So beer on ice. It is nice to know. Here's the other thing though, because I'm a Corona guy. I like Corona, but it's nice to know. I love when people from South America or, native Spanish speaking Latin American cultures, I love when they drink something like Corona, because then I feel like it's actually authentic. It's like when you go to a Chinese food restaurant or a sushi place and there's Asian people there, you're like, oh, this must be a great one. This is the place to be. Same thing when you see Latinos drinking cerveza. I think to myself, Corona definitely is clearly authentic Mexican beer. I don't know, man. Maybe that's just me, but this is moving, I think, a lot faster than anyone really imagined. And maybe that's why Selena Gomez is so upset. Maybe that's why she can't grasp it, because it's just too much too fast.
I just want to say that I'm so sorry. All my people are getting attacked. The children.
Okay, by the way, I don't know, attacked is that's not an accurate statement. They're not getting attacked. There's no attacks going on. ICE is going in. They have warrants. They have the strict legal documents they need. They go into these places. They're not beating anybody up. They're saying, hey, come with me. They haul them out. They put them in handcuffs so they can't escape. They put them on a plane. And they fly them back from whence they came. It's not an attack. Nobody's getting it. And it's not children. There's no, I was looking at the plane. I don't see, these aren't children. These are adult males. Sure, they're young adult males, but they're adult males. They're, they're of age. And they're shackled because we don't want them running away or attacking the individuals on the plane or anything like that. But they go back. I mean, that was the entire thing. That was the whole thing. If you were paying attention at all during the campaign, Donald Trump's whole thing was, we're going the largest mass deportation effort in American history, right? We all remember that. We didn't dream that actually happened. Securing the border, sending troops to the border, making sure that our border is secure, making sure that we stop the flow of illegal immigrants, remain in Mexico. All, shutting down that horrible app. All of this is happening, and all of it was promised. This was foretold. This was foretold to us by Donald Trump before the election. And then the majority of Americans, both popular and electorally, went out and voted for him, supported him, gave him the mandate, and now he's executing it. And it's going so well, I think. I think it's going remarkably well. Not just with Donald Trump, but I think it's, here's the interesting thing about Donald Trump. Not only is he doing what he planned, but he's able to work quickly on contingencies, because that's what happens when you're president, when you're leader of a country, all sorts of stuff pops up. So he's like, okay, here's my agenda. Here's what I want to do, and then and it's like when they say, I got to run around and put out fires, and it takes me away from my actual agenda. Well, in this case, Donald Trump is actually running around putting out literal fires, like in California. I mean, there's literal fires destroying California, and Donald Trump has now been tasked to put them out while he's also executing on all these other great things. And we'll get to all of that here in just a minute. First, so a couple things I'd like to say. I want to, first of all, welcome. If you're watching this live stream on YouTube or Facebook or X or Rumble or any of those other fantastic places, do me a favor and subscribe. Hit the little thumbs up button, hit the like button, make sure you're setting the notifications, because you want to make sure you get notified every time we go live. And a lot of people go, I never get notified anytime you go live. Well, maybe you didn't set the notifications, or maybe you did and somehow or some other they got unset. I don't know. Now's your opportunity to double check, subscribe, hit the likes, hit the notifications, let everybody know wherever you are. If you're listening to the podcast, be gosh darn sure that you are getting this delivered to your phone every single day, because that's how the RSS system works. I publish it, you get it on your phone, you hit listen and everything, and you're informed and entertained and enlightened and inspired, and the whole world comes together remarkably well. And Donald Trump's election was proof positive of that. I mean, I'm not saying I'm the only reason, but I feel like what we've got going on here was part of the reason. That's the first thing. Second thing is, we've got a couple big things going on. Next week, starting next Monday, we're kicking off something called the Kayetriot Club. And this is something that we used to do there's a company called Locals, and Locals is owned by the operators of Rumble and Locals. They come together. They're a great conservative company. They distribute a lot of conservative content, and they become a platform for conservative content creators to go and amass an audience and share their information and that kind of thing. And we used to do a lot of stuff on Locals behind the scenes. We would do a Q&A once a week or once every other week, and it was a lot of fun. We never really were able to use it the way we wanted to. And that's because, we were embedded with other organizations. We don't need to, I don't want to dwell on the past. But now, after we've been able to rebuild Mark Kaye Saves the Republic, now that this podcast is becoming more and more popular and on more and more platforms, and there's more and more there's more and more demand for this podcast, we've opened up the Kayetriot Club. And starting next week, we are going to offer extended hours of operation. What does that mean? Everyone's like, hey, I want more Mark Kaye Saves the Republic. 1 hour is not enough. 1 hour and 20 minutes is not enough. Okay, fine. We're going to do more inside the Kayetriot Club starting next week. And what we did was we went in, we revamped the entire thing, and we've got, you can get free stickers as part of the Kayetriot Club, which is fantastic. Here's what we got. We're going to do an extended daily show after the live stream. I'm going to call it the after party. So like the Mark Kaye Saves the Republic is the party, and then after the party is the after party, and it's going to be here on Locals. There's going to be one monthly Q&A session where it's a live stream dedicated entirely to Q&A. You just ask a question, I give you an answer, that kind of thing. We'll shoot the breeze. It'll all be inside the Kayetriot Club. Behind the scenes footage. I'll start posting behind the scenes footage, stuff beforehand, stuff after, photos. When we travel, you'll get exclusive things that nobody else can see. But as a member of the Kayetriot Club, you will be able to see it. And a 25% discount code for the Mark Kaye Shop. Now that's baller, because we do usually about 15% coupon codes, but for life, as a member of the Kayetriot Club, you'll get a 25% discount code. And then check it out, free stickers. How great are these? I look at we had all these free stickers. We're giving away free stickers to every member of the Kayetriot Club that wants them. So if you're a member of Locals already, and we have a lot of people who have been members since day one, and even in the even when there wasn't a lot going on inside, you guys remain members, and we really appreciate that. And your support has helped us continue doing what we're doing. But now we're really ramping it up. And we want the Kayetriot Club to be one of the biggest, one of the most exciting. We want to be one of the most active places on Locals on the internet. And so if you'd like to join, you can go to Kayetriots.com, and it's $10 a month. If you want to get an annual subscription, you get 2 months free, which is that's kind of cool. That's how it goes. But for $10 a month, you get the extended Mark Kaye Saves the Republic after party. You get free stickers. You get the 25% discount code. You get the monthly Q&K, and all. We might do some interviews and things like that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I put a link in the description of this video, or you can go to Kayetriots.com, Kayetriots.com, and you can sign up today. The after parties will begin on Monday. Speaking of 25% off, once you join the Kayetriot Club, be sure to go over to Mark Kaye Shop, use your brand new coupon code, and get 25% off of your Gulf of America t-shirt and or hoodie and whatever else you want. If you want to load up on some Kayetriot gear, you can do that too. We have official Kayetriot gear at the Mark Kaye Shop, and with your 25% discount, it's basically like you're going to be stealing. You're basically going to be stealing it. So I would definitely do that. Go to Kayetriots.com right now and grab yourself a membership for $10 a month. It supports the show. It allows us to continue doing what we're doing. It allows us to do even more than what we're doing now. You know, people are always like, give me more. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to need more to give more because I'm just one person. We're looking at hiring a couple of people. We're looking at expanding the program. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited about what 2025 has to offer. And I thank Donald Trump for that. I thank you guys for that. And I think it's going to be really, really exciting and expansive. And like I said, I'm totally stoked. So go join today, and then you'll be ready to go for Monday. You won't be scrambling around on Monday to join us for the after party. Plus, you can get your coupon code for 25% off at the Mark Kaye Shop. All right, let's get to it, shall we? I guess we should. I'm going to get to the Colombia thing, because what Donald Trump did to the president of Colombia over the weekend was, again, it's one of the things that, by the way, this guy's clearly given a Nazi salute, isn't he? Isn't that the whole thing? Isn't that what we're learning now? This left-wing socialist from Colombia, this guy who is about as liberal as they get, the president of Colombia, is doing exactly what Elon Musk did the other day in Washington, D.C., but he's not getting heat for it. He's not getting called a Nazi or a white supremacist or a Hitler lover. And it's really weird. It's really weird how that happens. How, like, when a liberal does it, it's okay, but when Elon Musk does it, it's all of a sudden he's the worst person in the world. Anyway, this is the president of Colombia. And the president of Colombia turned away 2 of Donald Trump's planes. And by Donald Trump's planes, I mean our planes. They were United States cargo planes filled with, guess what? Illegal immigrants. They were illegal aliens, criminals who were here in the United States, who were rounded up by ICE, who were deported by ICE, who were put on the cargo plane by ICE and sent back to Colombia. You know why? Because that's where they from. And they were like, hey, we're going to send you back to Colombia because that's where you came from. And in fact, Colombia sent them here, aided in it. That's what happened with it. And, you know, Donald Trump talks about it all the time. He goes, you know where the crime is the lowest? In South America and Central America. You know why? Because all their criminals are now here in the United States of America. They emptied out their prisons. They emptied out their insane asylums. They took their entire criminal element. They sent them over the border. And guess what? Now their countries are safe and ours are not, or our country is not. Well, that's what Donald Trump and Tom Homan and ICE are going to do. They're going to make America safe again, just as they promised they would. And so this guy sees the planes coming in, says, nope, no planes. Tell them to go back, and refuses to allow our cargo planes full of Colombian immigrants to land. Well, Donald Trump's out playing golf, gets wind of it, goes to Truth Social, and publishes the following. I was just informed that 2 repatriation flights, which, by the way, great marketing there. Calling them repatriation flights, that's great. That's like calling global warming climate change. That's exactly what I love it. I was just informed that 2 repatriation flights from the United States with a large number of illegal criminals were not allowed to land in Colombia. This order was given by Colombia's socialist president, Gustavo Petro, who is already very unpopular amongst his people. Petro's denial of these flights has jeopardized the national security and public safety of the United States. So I've directed my administration to immediately take the following urgent and decisive retaliatory action. And I love the wording here. I love that he says, this is a threat to the United States of America, so we are retaliating. He ain't even playing. Donald Trump ain't playing. Trump ain't playing, world. That's what you need to know. That's what you need to take from this particular post on Truth Social. Trump ain't playing. If you refuse to take your criminals back, if you do not let our planes land on your airport to deposit your criminal citizens back into your country, you are a threat to the United States of America, and we will retaliate against all threats, foreign and domestic. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Here we go. So the immediate, I have directed my administration to take the immediate following decisive retaliatory measures. Number one, emergency 25% tariffs on all goods coming into the United States. In 1 week, the 25% tariffs will be raised to 50%. Now, that includes coffee. But don't worry about it. I'll tell you why in just a minute. A travel ban and immediate visa revocations on the Colombian government officials and all allies and supporters. So he's basically saying, if you're a Colombian government official, you're not allowed in the country. We're going to take away your visa. And if you already have a visa, we're revoking it, which means you got like 24 hours to get your butt on a plane and go home. That's what that means. Visa sanctions on all party members, family members, and supporters of the Colombian government. So if you're a member of the Colombian government, you're not allowed to travel anywhere. You'll be sanctioned. If you're a family member, if you're a Colombian minister and your daughter wants to go party in LA with her friends, guess what? She's not going to be able to. And we all know that when the teenage daughters are unhappy, they complain to their dads, and then their dads go do something. Enhanced customs and border protection inspections of all Colombian nationals and cargo on national security grounds. Do you know what that means? That means that if a Colombian national tries to come to the United States, they're going to get enhanced inspection. That means that they're going to be pulled into a room for hours and interrogated, and they're going to be questioned, and they're going to be searched and frisked, and it's going to be a living hell. And if you try to bring any goods to the border, they're going to be put in a warehouse, and they're going to be searched, and they're going to probably sit there for weeks on end until they go rotten, and then we won't let them in because they're diseased. There's all kinds of things that we can do. Treasury, banking, and financial sanctions to be imposed. These measures are just the beginning. We will not allow the Colombian government to violate its legal obligations with regard to the acceptance and return of the criminals they forced into the United States of America. I mean, this is not Joe Biden. This is what the world's around. The world is now realizing, they're learning, this is not Joe Biden. Joe Biden is not the president anymore. Donald Trump is the president. And Donald Trump realizes that the president has tools. He always said tariffs are... Oh, sorry, Selena Gomez she's still crying. I'm sorry, she's still sad.
I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry. All my people are getting attacked. The children. They don't understand.
Yeah. By the way, shouldn't she say Lo siento? It doesn't matter. You know what? A 6-1 half does it the other. Anyway, Donald Trump is using these tools that he has at his disposal, these tariffs, these retaliatory measures, these enhanced inspections, these visa revocations. He's using all of these things, which are tools of the government, tools of the executive branch, tools of the president, to do what he needs to get done to keep America safe. And if anything, this isn't a bad thing. This is a great thing. And I want you to think about this. Joe Biden had everything. Joe Biden had all of this stuff. Joe Biden could have done any of this at any time. He could have closed the border. He could have issued executive orders for remain in Mexico. He could have forced ICE to go up and round these people up and send them home. He could have used sanctions to get other countries to do our bidding, to keep America safe, to help protect our sovereignty, to respect our borders and our laws. He didn't. Or Joe Biden or whoever was controlling him at the time didn't want any of that. Didn't want any part of that. Just wanted to let the border open, wanted to let these criminals come in freely, didn't want to ruffle any feathers. Joe Biden never would have done anything this bold, this responsible, Joe Biden never would have shown this kind of leadership. And of course, that's why he's not the leader anymore. Donald Trump is. And within an hour, I mean, that's the thing. Not even, I heard 6 minutes from someone, but I think it was within an hour. Donald Trump says, hey, let our planes land And until you do, we're going to do all of these terrible, horrible, no good, very bad things to you. And then within an hour, this official communication or comunicado oficial from President Gustavo Petro dispone avión presidencial para el retorno digno de connacionales y lideras esfuerzos en la Asamblea Extraordinaria de la CELAC. Basically, it's a bunch of Spanish stuff that says, we're going to take the criminals. And not only that, but I am going to use my private presidential plane. Ha dispuesto el avión presidencial para facilitar el retorno digno de los connacionales que iban a llegar hoy al país en horas de la mañana. He said, I'm sending my presidential plane to make sure that we have a dignified transfer of these criminals. Whatever, dude. Whatever you want, senor. However you need to sell it to the people, you go ahead and sell it to the people. But the fact of the matter is, this guy tried to talk tough to Donald Trump, and Donald Trump said, Trump ain't playing. He's saying, if you let the planes land, we're going to have a problem. If you don't let the planes land, you're going to have lots of problems. You're going to have visa revocations. You're going to have 25% tariffs. You're going to have 50% tariffs. Your daughters and your kids aren't going to be able to go to LA to party with their friends. It's going to be a problem. And within an hour, the president of Colombia reversed his decision and actually sent his own personal plane to pick up these criminals. From Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary of the United States of America. The government of Colombia has agreed to all of Trump's terms, including the unrestricted acceptance of all illegal aliens from Colombia returned from the United States, including on U.S. military aircraft, without limitation or delay. Based on this agreement, the fully drafted tariffs and sanctions will be held in reserve and not signed unless Colombia fails to honor this agreement. The visa sanctions issued by the State Department and enhanced inspections from Customs and Border Protection will remain in effect until the first plane load of Colombian deportees is successfully returned. Today's events make it clear to the world that America is respected again. President Trump will continue to fiercely protect our nation's sovereignty, and he expects all other nations of the world to fully cooperate in accepting the deportation of their citizens illegally present in the United States of America. Promises made, promises kept. That was Donald Trump Sunday. Incidentally, he's playing golf the entire time this is happening. Donald Trump's playing golf the entire time this is happening because Donald Trump had a whirlwind weekend. He had a weekend like you've never seen. Donald Trump, we talked about this on Friday. Donald Trump, on Friday morning, Donald Trump, during this broadcast, we were talking all about it. He got to Joint Base Andrews. He got on Air Force One. He flew to North Carolina. He landed in North Carolina. He went to the airport. He did a brief press conference. He answered some questions from the media. Then he went and he met with officials. Then after he met with the officials, they took him to one of the disaster sites where he saw firsthand the devastation that FEMA has left unfazed. I mean, it's ridiculous how long these people have had to live in this kind of squalor and dilapidated, existence. It's amazing how these roads are still destroyed. The bridges are still washed away. There's still no way to communicate with any of these folks. Their houses and their homes. They've got no help from FEMA. Donald Trump, furious with FEMA, basically said, I'm defunding FEMA right there on the spot. He had a parade of these local inhabitants come in and talk about what they've been dealing with the insurance companies, with FEMA, with the government, how they all thought they were going to die. They all thought not one of them. They all thought we're going to die in this flood. We're going to die right here. The mud, the water, the wind, the rain, everything, where it's going to kill us. And they survived. And now that they've survived, they're getting zero help from the federal government. And Donald Trump was like, oh, we ain't having that. And he left Michael Whatley there, and he said, Michael Whatley, you're going to be in charge. And guess what happened today? The Army Corps of Engineers showed up, and they started to rebuild the place. It took Donald Trump 48 hours. Joe Biden couldn't do it in 4 months. Donald Trump, 48 hours. And the Army Corps of Engineers is now on the ground in Asheville, in Hendersonville, in the Appalachian western part of North Carolina, rebuilding the entire community that was devastated by Hurricane Helene. Then he got on a plane and he flew to L.A., where he met on the tarmac Governor Gavin Newsom.
Most importantly, thank you for being here. It means a great deal to all of us, not just the folks in Palisades, the folks in Altadena that were devastated. We're going to need your support. We're going to need your help. You were there for us during COVID. I don't forget that. And I have all the expectations that we'll be able to work together to get this speedy recovery. We will. We're going to get it done.
We want to get it. Yeah, listen, okay, that's nice and all that. Trump and Gavin Newsom met on the tarmac right outside the airplane, and they took some questions, and they did that little back and forth. But Gavin Newsom's the problem, and Donald Trump knows that. And you can't work with the problem to solve the problem. You have to go around the problem and eventually extricate the problem. And Donald Trump knows that too. So, after meeting with emergency personnel, after receiving a lovely police helmet, which was very nice, Donald Trump sat back and in front of every elected official, he basically said, look, I'm taking charge. The first thing we're going to do is something your governor has not done, something your governor is incapable of doing, doesn't want to do, refuses to do, and that is get water to the places where you need it. We're going to fill the hydrants with water again. We're going to fill the reservoirs with water again. We're going to make fire departments great again in California, because it's very difficult to fight these enormous blazes if you don't have H2O coming out of the Hydrant. Yeah, I think I spelled that correctly. And so he issued an executive order to get water to the people who need it.
I'm signing an executive order to open up the pumps and valves in the north. We want to get that water pouring down here as quickly as possible and let hundreds of millions of gallons of water flow down into Southern California. And that'll be a big benefit to you. If you don't want it, you're going to tell me, but I can't imagine it. I tell you who does like it is the fire department. When I said that, they were very happy with that. They didn't mind hearing that.
By the way, Rick Grinnell, this is the other thing that Donald Trump does. Donald Trump is big on, Donald Trump, he comes from the real estate, industry. Donald Trump builds things. And whenever you build something, you have a project manager. And this is how Donald Trump works. So when he went to North Carolina, he had Michael Whatley. And he said, Michael Whatley, you're from North Carolina. You know these people. You got me elected. You're a doer. You can get things done. Michael Whatley, you're the project manager of rebuilding Western North Carolina. And Michael Whatley said, all right. And he started rebuilding Western North Carolina. In California, he gets Rick Grinnell.
I'm signing an
This is Rick Grinnell here on the right. Rick Grinnell, who a lot of people, he was appointed to something, special envoy to something or other. Some kind of, he's like, he's basically a great negotiator. And a lot of people thought that maybe he would have been Secretary of State. He was not. They thought maybe he does have some, maybe CIA director. But Rick Grinnell basically is Donald Trump's right-hand man. And in this case, Donald Trump said, look, you're now the project manager of LA. Your job is to get the water back to LA, get these people what they need, get these people the money that they need, get these houses rebuilt. And so Rick Grinnell is the project manager of LA, and his job now is to rebuild California. And Donald Trump is going to make sure that it happens. First of all, he's not only bringing them water, but he's also getting rid of every federal roadblock to rebuilding Southern California.
Because we're going to essentially waive all federal permits. We're going to have you go very quickly, because a federal permit can take 10 years. We're not going to do that. We don't want to take 10 days. I would. So we're declaring this a national emergency. By doing that, I can give you immediate permits. I'd ask that the local permitting process be the same. Some of the people were saying they're going to be forced to wait 18 months for their permits, and I don't think you're going to do that. I can't imagine that. So they are literally in a position right now they'd like to start tonight, and they'll clean their site, they'll do everything. They just want to start, and they were very concerned with the 18 months. So I'm sure you can get it down to, I would say, not even 18 days. They are ready, Mayor. They are ready to start.
And he's talking to Karen Bass, the mayor of LA, and he's like, look, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cancel every federal permit. These people can get to work right away. They're not going to need permits. They're not going to need permission. They're not going to need anything. They're not going to have to wait months and months and months for federal permits. And I imagine this is him casually suggesting this is what you need to do. Like, I would imagine you could do the same for these people. Couldn't you, Mayor? You could do the same on the local level, couldn't you? Couldn't you get rid of the permitting process so that these people, because they want to go rebuild, they're ready. They're ready, willing, and able to go do it, man. They are ready right now to go and clean off their properties. They're ready to get everything back to normal. They want to get back to work. They want their lives back. They don't want bureaucracy and restrictions and regulations in the way. So on a federal level, we're going to get rid of them. Could you do that here too? And they're all like, okay. Okay, sure. This is why Donald Trump is so popular. This is why Donald Trump is, I mean, there's very few people out there are complaining about Donald Trump in a legitimate way. Okay, yes, Selena Gomez is very upset with President Donald Trump at the moment because I don't know why.
I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry. All my people are getting attacked. The children. I don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know what to do.
I don't know. I don't know why. And again, I don't know why she's apologizing. Maybe she's a closet Trump supporter. Maybe she voted for Donald Trump. Who knows? But she's upset. But most people are thrilled with Donald Trump and think he's doing a fantastic job. In fact, CNN had a recent poll. Harry Enton, because, you know, he's still out there polling people. They had a poll and they found that Donald Trump not only is more popular than ever before, but is more popular than any second-term president in history. And even CNN's own reporters don't believe CNN's own reporting. Listen to this.
This is a very different Donald Trump. He's leading a very different administration, the way he's attacking things. And the American public is very much more in line with him than they were at any point during his entire first term.
Well, I would say, correction, this is not a very different Donald Trump. This is a very different Donald Trump as being viewed by voters in this.
In the way he's going about things with Susan Wiles leading things, I think he is, going at things in a much less disorganized fashion, much more organized.
Take me back in history.
Take you back in history. So it was so interesting to me that Donald Trump's first net approval rating of his second term is higher than his entire first term. And I was interested, has that ever happened? Has the second term net approval rating in the first month, have you ever had a higher rating than any net approval rating during the entire first term? Donald Trump is the only...
I have a really hard time believing this.
This is 100% true.
Now, she says, I have a hard time believing it. I do too, because it's on CNN. And she's like, wait a minute. I know that this is CNN, but even I'm having a hard time believing it. I always say, don't believe anything you see on CNN, except for this, because this may be accurate.
I love spreadsheets. Donald Trump's is the first guy ever whose net approval rating in the first month of his second term is higher than any rating that he had as an entire first term, Kate Baldwin. This is true. I don't make stuff up. The numbers are the numbers.
I believe you in nothing except when you have it in the wall, and then I believe everything you say.
That's exactly right.
Which is why.
Okay, so Kate Baldwin, whoever she is, she doesn't believe that Donald Trump is more popular than he was in his first term. I don't know why. I mean, I feel like that's a given. I feel like Donald Trump was popular in his very first term. He's never been this popular before. And no other president in history has been more popular at the beginning of their second administration than their first. And of course, Donald Trump is the first one to. Of course he is. Because Donald Trump, and again, yes, it's because Donald Trump is doing things and he's using the tools at his disposal and he's making sure that our border's secure and he's going to fix the economy. He's doing all this great. Donald Trump is an amazing president. But also, he came in after Joe Biden, and Joe Biden was so bad and so ignorant and so inept and so dangerous and so destructive to the United States of America that really anyone, well, except maybe Kamala Harris, anyone would have been a welcome change. But the fact that Donald Trump has turned this country around so rapidly, given us all whiplash with in just 1 week, thousands of illegal immigrants rounded up and sent back home in just 1 week. The JFK files, the Martin Luther King Jr. files, the RK files released in just 1 week. January 6th prisoners pardoned in just 1 week. I can't even remember all of the other. Oh, you know what he did today? Today, Donald Trump did something else that he promised to do, something else that is going to keep us safer, something else that is going to make America great again, and something else that should never have been done before. And that is that Donald Trump
He has made good on
Hang on. And Donald Trump has promised and now signed an executive order to reinstate the thousands of troops, 8,000 plus troops who were discharged because they did not want to get Joe Biden's mandated COVID vaccine. And he's paying
Later today, President Trump is going to sign an executive order. He has made good on another campaign promise. He has restated, as of one half hour ago, thousands of U.S. troops with full pay after they were kicked out of the military for refusing a COVID vaccine during the Biden administration. This is welcome news for our next guest, who introduced the bill, fighting for this very cause almost 2 years ago, retired Army Ranger, Republican Congressman from the beautiful state of Florida. Brian Mast joins us right now. Brian, good morning to you.
Good to see you.
Well, Congressman, this is great news. Trump said he was going to do this.
By the way, I think looking at this, I think I'm going to go as Brian Mast for Halloween. I just need a black suit and a black tie. I'm Congressman Brian Mast from Florida.
And ultimately, 8,000 men and women who got kicked out with this mandate by Joe Biden, they can go back. They can get their job at the rank, back pay, same pay. This is a great day for them.
Great day for patriots, great day for our service members, my brothers and sisters in arms. And let's not forget, you go back in time, and it wasn't just the military, it was other government agencies as well, where they were washing essentially conservatives that were raising their hands saying, hey, I don't want to take this vaccine. They were washing them out of government, washing them out of West Point and Naval Academy, Air Force, Coast Guard, Merchant Marine Academies, washing them out from being on the next promotion boards for first sergeants, sergeants majors, or officers. And they were creating a system where the ones that were going to be giving promotion to the next classes of individuals were all going to be those that didn't say, no, I'm not a conservative, and I'm okay with everything that you're doing right now. That's what was taking place.
And that's an excellent point. That is exactly the point. It wasn't, oh, you're not getting the COVID vaccine. Oh, you're not getting the mandated vaccinations from Pfizer that we tell you need to get in order to fight and serve in our military. You're not getting all that. Well, then you need to leave. It wasn't that at all. It was, oh, you're not getting that. You must be a conservative. And this is a great excuse to purge you from the government, to purge you from the military, to purge you from the Pentagon. This is a great way to make sure that the only people left around here are liberals, our people, and they can be here long after we're gone. Well, Brian Mast and Donald Trump had other thoughts about that. And now all of those people are being reinstated. They're being reinstated to the rank they were at. They're being reinstated. They're getting back pay. And they're going to go and they're going to fight in the military. Also, incidentally, as I look at the similarities between me and Brian Mast, meaning we're both bald, that's going to be confusing when I become a congressman. When I become the next congressman from Florida in 2026, after I primary Rhino John Rutherford, it's going to be, people are going to be like, are you Brian Mast? I'm going to be like, no, I'm Mark Kaye. And then they're going to be like, they're going to go up to him and be like, are you Mark Kaye? And they're like, no, I'm Brian Mast. So maybe I'll have to grow a mustache or something so that we differentiate. But look, there's even better news for these people. There's even better news for these people who are coming back to the military after just summarily discharged and disrespected by the Biden administration. The good news is not only are they coming back, the good news is not only are they being reinstated at the rank they were at when they were kicked out, the good news is not only are they getting back pay, but the good news is they're getting a brand new Secretary of Defense. They don't have to go back and fight under the auspices of Lloyd Austin. They don't have to worry about Joe Biden being their commander-in-chief. They don't have to worry about being sent off to some war that they never should have been fighting, that we never should have been involved in. They don't have to worry about some botched military operation causing the death of 13 Marines like it did at Abbey Gate in Afghanistan when Joe Biden withdrew on a moment's notice, because he had no clue what was going on with the Taliban taking over the country. And so now we've got 8,000 plus conservatives returning to military fighting status, and they have a brand new Secretary of Defense in Pete Hegseth, who was confirmed by a vote of 51-50, and had this to say this morning when he showed up for work.
And as the Secretary of Defense, it's an honor to salute smartly, as I did as a junior officer and now as the Secretary of Defense, to ensure these orders are complied with rapidly and quickly. Every moment that I'm here, I'm thinking about the guys and gals in Guam, in Germany, in Fort Benning and Fort Bragg, on missile defense sites and aircraft carriers. Our job is lethality and readiness and warfighting. We're going to hold people accountable. I know the chairman agrees with that. The lawful orders of the President of the United States will be executed inside this Defense Department swiftly and without excuse. We will be no better friend to our allies and no stronger adversary to those who want to test us and try us. So, Mr. Chairman, thanks for welcoming me today. I look forward to serving the troops, the warriors of this department. It's the honor of a lifetime, and we're going to get to work. God bless you all.
Yeah. Something else Pete Hegseth did was he posted this on Twitter, or on X rather. It's the Secretary of Defense, Washington. It says DOD is not DEI. DOD does not equal DEI. The Department of Defense does not equal diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's a merit-based system. He had a little asterisk, and it says, no exceptions, name changes, or delays. Those who do not comply will no longer work here. SecDef 29. No exceptions, name changes, or delays. Those who do not comply will no longer work here. That's basically it. No diversity, no equity, no inclusion, no workarounds. If you try to skirt the rules and regulations of the Department of Defense, you will be dismissed. Just like Joe Biden dismissed all of those 8,000 plus brave men and women who fought for our country but did not want to get the mandated vaccination. It's no longer about diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's about merit. It's about merit. In fact, Donald Trump parroted that. Donald Trump was out in Nevada, and he stopped there. After he went to California, he went to Nevada. He had a very busy weekend. And he stopped in Nevada, and he wanted to talk about the no tax on tips because that was a big deal. That was a big deal. And he reminded everybody, we are now back to a merit-based world.
We are now in a merit-based world. We're a merit-based country. Did you ever think you were going to hear that again? It's based on merit. If you've got the talent, if you've got the work, the ethic, the whole thing, it's based now on, it's not based on any other thing. It's based on merit. It's based on your capability. The United States has now become, again, a meritocracy. Isn't that a beautiful word? A meritocracy. Based on merit. If you do your job well, you're going to go places.
And if you don't, you're going to go home. And that's basic, and that's the way it should be. That's the way it's always been, and that's the way that this country became great. And that's the way that this country will continue to become greater and greater and greater. Also, he wanted to let you know that those IRS agents, he's going to send them to the border.
Day one, I immediately halted the hiring of any new IRS agents. You know, they hired or tried to hire 88,000 new workers to go after you, and we're in the process of developing a plan to either terminate all of them or maybe we'll move them to the border. I think we're going to move them to the border. Well, they're allowed to carry guns. You know, they're so strong on guns, but these people are allowed to carry guns, so we'll probably move them to the border. Yeah. She said no tax on it. How about just no tax?
Yeah, how about that? I'm all about that. I think that's a great idea. I mean, when are we going to get to the fair tax system? When are we going to get to a consumption tax? Where's Neil Bortz? Go on, Neil Bortz, get in there. Get in Donald Trump's face. We got to get this thing underway all of a sudden. But look, he said, look, there's no tax on tips. There's no tax on Social Security. This is everything I promised you I'm going to make. I'm going to make good on all my promises.
Near the top of the agenda for our historic Republican majorities in Congress is to pass a massive tax cut for American workers and families. Last year, we campaigned across the country on a pledge that I'm sure most of you didn't hear too much about. Pledge to take the Trump tax cuts and make them permanent, and that's exactly what we're doing. In the coming weeks, I'll be working with Congress to get a bill on my desk that cuts taxes for workers, families, small businesses, and very importantly, keeps my promise for a thing called, and I know you didn't hear anything about this, and I'm sure it had no influence on the state, the fact that we won this crazy, massive majority, a state that hadn't been won by a Republican in decades. But I'm sure you haven't heard, but we're going to get it for you. No tax on tips. No tax on tips.
By the way, I'm going to start working for tips. I'm going to call all my, that was tips. I'm just tipped. I'm just a tip worker. Because Donald Trump's saying there's going to be no tax. There's going to be no tax on tip. You know what else Donald Trump did when he was in Nevada? This is how great Donald Trump is. This is how much it shows that Donald Trump is a man of the people. He likes to be around the people. He's not afraid of the people. He gets energy from the people. And he's truly, sincerely loves the people and knows that the people are the reason why he's there. So he went out to thank them. And where did he go in Las Vegas to thank the people? Where do you go in Las Vegas after your meetings? Where do you go in Las Vegas after your speech is done? If you're at a convention in Las Vegas and it wraps up for the day, where do you go? That's right, the casino. And that's exactly where Donald Trump went. Look at that. And they loved him. They loved him. The entire casino floor starts chanting USA. They're screaming and yelling. People are pulling out their cell phones. They're taking video. He goes over to the pretty cocktail waitress and he starts talking to the pretty cocktail waitress because that's what you do. Because he wants to know about her tips. He's like, I want to know, do you get tips? I'm getting no tax on tips for you. Yeah. No tax on tips. No tax. They're all yelling, no tax on tips. And I mean, this is the only, first of all, everybody at this casino is a winner, by the way. Everybody at this casino just won because Donald Trump walked up the floor. And, and my wife was like, is that safe? And I go, oh, there's no safer place in the casino. The security at casinos is second to none. Oh, this is my favorite. He goes over to the craps table. There's some dude shooting craps, and President Trump's like, hey, what are you doing? You shooting craps? Let's see how it goes. And of course, and I think the guy won because then they showed another video where everyone was screaming and yelling after the guy rolled the dice and Donald Trump shook his hand. So Donald Trump, a good luck charm for the people in Vegas. Good luck charm really for the people all over, for all of us. Donald Trump is a good luck charm for all of us. He's good for America. He's good for the United States. He's good for our allies. The only people he's really not good for are, people who get in the way, like the president of Colombia. Oh, and also Selena Gomez. Selena Gomez, who's very, very upset that Donald Trump.
I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
All my people are getting attacked.
I know, it's horrible. The children. Los niños.
They don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know what to do.
That was really, maybe stop watching CNN would be my first. That'd be my first suggestion to Selena. Maybe stop watching whatever news you're watching. Just stop that. Just stop that. You got to watch better news. Speaking of better news, CBS News had J.D. Vance on. And J.D. Vance, if J.D. Vance continues, and I know there's a long 4 years, but if J.D. Vance continues down this road that J.D. Vance is on right now, J.D. Vance will be the next president of the United States. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. J.D. Vance is going to be the next president of the United States of America. Unless something happens, unless there's some big scandal, I can't imagine anyone else outshining J.D. Vance on the diplomatic stage, on the government stage, on the media stage. I mean, this guy, there's nobody that can handle J.D. Vance. He can't be out debated. He can't be out interviewed. There's no getting him. There's no gotchas. Margaret Brennan, who is from CBS News, she unfortunately for her, she's the host of Face the Nation. And Bob Schieffer for years was the host of Face the Nation. A couple of other people have been important parts of that, and they gave it to her when the job came up. And she's just not the kind of person that can handle someone like J.D. Vance. And J.D. Vance treated Margaret Brennan the way Donald Trump treated the president of Colombia over the weekend. Yesterday, they sent J.D. Vance out to do the Sunday shows, and he was on CBS's Face the Nation, and Margaret Brennan asked him a question, and J.D. Vance, it was about immigration, and J.D. Vance said something that will now become one of the most important political quotes in American history. He said, "I don't care, Margaret."
Well, Margaret, I don't agree that all these immigrants or all these refugees have been properly vetted. In fact, we know that there are cases of people who allegedly were properly vetted and then were literally planning terrorist attacks on our country. That happened during the campaign, if you may remember. So clearly not all of these foreign nationals have been properly vetted.
But there are 30,000 people in the pipeline Afghan refugees.
But my primary
Do you stand
concern
by it?
as the vice president, Margaret, is to look after the American people. And now that
So
we
no.
know that we have vetting problems with a lot of these refugee programs, we absolutely cannot unleash thousands of unvetted people into our country.
These people
it's
are
not
vetted.
good.
These people are vetted.
Just like the guy who planned a terrorist attack in Oklahoma a few months ago, he was allegedly properly vetted, and many people in the media and the Democratic Party said that he was properly vetted. Clearly he wasn't. I don't want my children to share a neighborhood with people who are not properly vetted, and because I don't want it for my kids, I'm not going to force any other American citizens' kids to do that either.
No, and that was a very particular case. It wasn't clear if he was radicalized when he got here or while he was living here.
I don't really
But
care, Margaret. I don't want that person in my country, and I think most Americans agree with me.
I don't really care, Margaret. Hey, you know, we don't know if he was not properly vetted or if he was radicalized after he got here. I don't really care, Margaret. Which, by the way, it's rare that you'll ever see a guy get away with telling a woman, I don't really care, on TV or otherwise. And this, to me, Margaret is going to become the new Karen, I think. But also, does this not remind anyone else of Christmas Vacation? Why is the floor all wet, Todd? I don't know, Margot. I don't really care, Margaret. I don't care about any of that stuff. What I care about is that these people are
Margaret,
in my
I don't
country.
agree that all these immigrants or all these refugees have been
Hold on. They haven't been vetted properly. I disagree with that statement. I don't want them in the same country as my kids. And I don't care. I don't care what you think. I don't care what he went on to call it she said, well, you know, we're a country of immigrants, and just dug herself a deeper hole.
well, this is a country founded by immigrants.
Well, this is a country
This is a
founded
unique
by
country.
This is a very unique country, and it was founded by some immigrants and some settlers. But just because we were founded by immigrants doesn't mean that 240 years later that we have to have the dumbest immigration policy in the world.
I mean, that doesn't seem like, it seems accurate. Just because immigrants founded this country doesn't mean that we have to be idiots when it comes to immigration. Just because immigrants found this country doesn't mean that we have to let immigrants destroy it. That doesn't make any sense. If the immigrants came here and created a country, that's great. Now, why are immigrants coming in to destroy it? We need to make sure that we're protecting everything that our immigrant forefathers did to make sure that this country is the land of the free and the home of the brave, and it's a secure place for all of us to make our American dreams come true. And Margaret she realized she was losing badly on immigration, so she started talking about bacon. And this is where the wheels, I think, really just came off the wagon for her.
You were talking about bacon on the campaign trail.
Of course. of course.
Those things, when do consumers actually get to touch and feel a difference in their lives?
Well, but Margaret, how does bacon get to the grocery store? It comes on trucks that are fueled by diesel fuel. If the diesel's way too expensive, the bacon's going to become more expensive. How do we grow the bacon? Our farmers need energy to produce it. So if we lower energy prices, we are going to see lower prices for consumers, and that is what we're trying to fight for.
And she's like, well, you bid it. You've already signed the whole litany of executive orders. You've signed 100 executive orders. Why aren't the prices lower yet?
You campaigned on lowering prices for consumers. We've seen all of these executive orders. Which one lowers prices?
We have done a lot, and there have been a number of executive orders that have caused already jobs to start coming back into our country, which is a core part of lowering prices. More capital investment, more job creation in our economy is one of the things that's going to drive down prices for all consumers, but also raise wages so that people can afford to buy the things that they need. If you look at our slate of executive orders, no, Margaret, prices are going to come down, but it's going to take a little bit of time, right? The president has been president for all of 5 days. I think that in those 5 days, he's accomplished more than Joe Biden did in 4 years. It's been an incredible breakneck pace of activity. We're going to work with Congress. We're, of course, going to have more executive orders.
And we're going to get those prices down. But it's been 5 days, lady. Not even. This was yesterday. But Donald Trump, it's been 1 week since Donald Trump took the oath of office. Joe Biden worked diligently for 4 years to destroy the economy. Joe Biden worked, and by working diligently, I mean, he didn't work hard at all, but his ridiculous policies, his ridiculous practices, his stupid Bidenomics put us where we are now, delving into the strategic oil reserve, stealing from the American people, making sure that our homes were impossible to buy, driving up fuel prices with his ridiculous restrictions and his EV mandates. All of this stuff took 4 years. And since Donald Trump hasn't been able to undo it in 1 week, Margaret Brennan's all, Well, which one of your executive orders lowers prices? They all do, lady. When America is safe again, when we get rid of illegal immigration, when we're able to drill, baby, drill, when we have all of this stuff back in order, when we have lower taxes, when people have more money in their pockets, all of these things, everything that Joe Biden did attributed to the disaster that we live in, everything that Donald Trump is doing is contributing to the new golden age. And the new golden age will be glorious. And the new golden age will be one where everybody has enough. Everybody has, everything is plentiful. You will not want for anything. If you need for something, you will be able to get it. The government won't hand it to you. You're going to have to go get it yourself. But Donald Trump is evening the playing field, and he's creating an environment where we can all have our dreams come true. And you won't have to worry about the exorbitant prices. You won't have to worry about not being able to find employment or jobs or clients or anyone else. You won't have to worry about not being able to afford a brand new home or to refinance your home. You won't have to worry about interest rates. You won't have to worry about retirement or healthcare or any of that stuff. All you'll do is wake up in the morning and say, how can I create something great for me and my family? And then you go out and create it. And no government agency is going to come in and say, you're violating 872 regulations that we put in place to make it harder for you to do damn near anything, because Donald Trump's going to get rid of those too. But, Margaret, it's going to take a little more than 5 days. So check back with us. Check back with us in 9 days. Let's check back next week and see where we are. Because if Donald Trump continues this pace, if Donald Trump continues working at the pace that he's working at, if Donald Trump continues moving forward on all of these issues the way he's moving forward, then I'm pretty sure that in 9 days, you're going to see an entirely different country than the one you're in now. I mean, it's really been exciting to see. Everything that Donald Trump, every time I wake up, I go on my Twitter and I see, something Donald Trump has done that just shows once again that the world is back, or that the country is back, shows the world that the country is back, shows the world that Donald Trump is doing everything he said he would, and that Donald Trump is going to continue to fight every day for the next 4 years. Because remember, this is a lame duck president, and he's already done more than most presidents do in their first term. This is Donald Trump, even though, oh, by the way, this was my favorite part too, even though he teased that he might be around a little bit longer, this is Donald Trump's last term. And what's going to happen after this is that Donald Trump is going to have to hand off the reins to J.D. Vance or someone else, but he wants to make sure that he's set up this entire country globally, domestically, economically, militarily, to make sure that nothing bad ever happens to us, and that we are respected around the world, and that we are the dominant superpower. And that nobody, not Colombia, not Hamas, not Hezbollah, not Iran, not Russia, not Ukraine, not Canada, not China, nobody will ever, ever, ever even think about messing with us ever again. That's Donald Trump's plan. And it's working very, very well. And if you don't believe me, just ask the folks that live by the Gulf of America. Because they're already seeing weather reports that say the Gulf of America. They're already seeing signs be changed that say Gulf of America. Do you know how many hoodies? It's amazing. We started. I noticed whenever somebody buys something, I always get a little notice, and I say, "Oh, where are they from?" And there's so many people in Western Florida. There's so many people in Eastern Texas. There's so many people along the southern borders of Louisiana and Mississippi and the Biloxi area and Gulfport, and they're snatching up these Gulf of America things. Gulf of America hoodies, Gulf of America t-shirts, Gulf of America. We've got mugs, and we've got the ladies V-neck, because I know the ladies love the V-neck. The Gulfie, the official Gulf of America mascot. All of these things that we've provided for you, people love, and they're scooping them up. And if you want to get yours, by all means, you should go right now to Mark Kaye Shop. Mark Kaye Shop is the website, and you can get whatever you want. You can get a t-shirt. We've got the light and the dark mode. You can get a hoodie. You can get these 40-ounce tumblers. I see everyone's always sucking on one of these tumblers. They love them. So we've got the Gulf of America tumbler. Fun fact, Gulf of America on one side and Mark Kaye Saves the Republic, the official logo, on the other. So you can pimp out both the Gulf of America and this program, and show everybody how much you love it. Now, if you use coupon code TrumpWorld, you get 15% off. But I've got an even better solution for you. Join the Kayetriot Club. Join the Kayetriot Club and you will get 25% off everything you buy from the Mark Kaye shop for life. Not only that, you will get exclusive Kayetriot Club only content. You will get an exclusive monthly Q&K for the Kayetriot Club members only. And starting Monday, something I like to call the after party. In just a couple minutes, I'm going to wrap this up. On Monday, I'm going to wrap this up and I'm going to go to the Kayetriot Club and we're going to kick off the after party. It's going to be more of Mark Kaye Saves the Republic. It's going to be an extended broadcast. More news, more entertainment, more back and forth, more questions, more answers, more fun, more interviews, more everything. And that's going to be exclusive for Kayetriot Club members only. So if you're a member of the Kayetriot Club, by all means, make plans to join us. If you're not, go to Kayetriots.com, Kayetriots.com, or you can go to markk.locals.com because the Kayetriot Club lives on our Locals supporters only page. And if you want to become a supporter on Locals, it's $10 a month. That's it. You can give more if you want, but we're only asking 10. And if you pay for an annual subscription, we'll give you 2 months free. So join the Kayetriot Club today. Starting next Monday, you're going to get more of everything that you love about Mark Kaye Saves the Republic. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining me today, man. Thanks so much thanks for all of the people that watch and like and share. Don't forget to subscribe because this is a regular deal, man. This is happening all the time. Subscribe, hit like, hit the notifications, let everybody know, let the podcast platforms know you want more of this because my job every single day is to come in here hyped and pumped and ready and armed with the information that you need to keep going, armed with the inspiration you need to keep going, armed with the entertainment you need so that you're coming back for more because entertainment's the key. If you're not entertaining, no one's going to pay attention. If they don't pay attention, they don't learn. If they don't learn, then they can't be effective fighters. And you are an effective fighter. You are a warrior for the United States of America, for the Constitution, for Donald Trump, for Kayetriots everywhere. You are a warrior for your family and you're securing the future of this country and for them every single day just by listening. And so pat yourself on the back, and I do appreciate it. And I hope to see you in the Kayetriot Club. And I hope to see you in the Kayetriot Club wearing your Gulf of America gear and your Kayetriot gear and your Mark Kaye Saves the Republic gear. And I hope to see you back here tomorrow because we've got so much more we're going to have to cover. This is the week that we will see the confirmation battles of some of the most controversial. You think Pete Hegseth was tight. Wait until RFK Jr. Wait until Tulsi Gabbard. Wait until Kash Patel. Donald Trump's cabinet is not even close to being in place. And there's going to be battles in Washington, D.C. and the Senate all week long. And we will be here to let you know who's on your side and who's against you. Who are the Susan Collinses and the Lisa Murkowskis and the Mitch McConnells? Are there others in the Republican Party who claim they want what's best for you and their constituents and their voters, but they're standing in Donald Trump's way of his promise to make America great again? Who are the people that you can really trust? We'll let you know, but you got to be here to find out so that you'll be armed with the knowledge and you'll know everything you need to know to continue to fight, fight, fight and save the Republic. This was so exciting. Join the Kayetriot Club today. Get ready for next week. It's going to be so much fun. You can also order your free stickers today, and you can get that 25% off discount code. So when you go to the Mark Kaye shop, it's 25% off everything when you use the exclusive code for Kayetriot Club members only. Otherwise, you can use coupon code TrumpWorld to get 15% off your entire order. Go there now. It's markkaye.com. I'll see you tomorrow.